My name is Robert Hall. I'm a resident at 409 Glen Drive in Harbor Springs, and tonight I respectfully submit my thoughts to our Mayor Matt, the City Council directly, and ask our City Council members to pause and to begin a more lengthy and healthy engagement with all of the taxpayers and the daunting issues that you have before you. First, many of the people here tonight have been here for generations. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. But in the past few years, a number of relative newcomers have come to town with a profound agenda of change, and with them outside organizations that are now playing a huge role in the future of the city. Our city manager is a relative newcomer, the chair of our planning commission is a relative newcomer. And newcomers have always been welcome in Harbor Springs, and they have worked very hard on this legislation. But along with this and their work on these issues since COVID have come a wave of outside players that almost none of us here have ever heard of. Entities that seem to be playing a major part in the legislation 629 before the council tonight. The first and foremost of these new players is an external engineering firm called Beckenham Raider. How many of us have ever heard of them? It seems their role is to oversee the applications of all of our future construction projects. A profound change that significantly alters the traditional role of our 9-member local planning commission, a process that has worked well for many years in the opinion of a lot of taxpayers. On to the other players. How many of us know what the statewide organization Redevelopment Ready Communities is and what it does and what it means for our future? How many of us know what the statewide organization Michigan Economic Development Corporation is and what their role is in our future and their possible agenda of urbanization of cities like Harbor Springs? And the ability of outside developers to buy up many of our single-family homes and turn them into high-density triplexes that will appeal to millionaires and not working folks. What about the huge issue of parking in formerly one-family home neighborhoods? All this has culminated in the planning and zoning legislation before the council tonight, whose final form has only been available to the entire town within the last 8 weeks. How many of us all have had time to digest this? Many of our taxpayers haven't had time to focus on these issues. Many residents wonder, why are we even doing this? Why the developers? Why the tear downs and construction? Why the building agenda pushed by a very small number of people? This isn't about housing for the working class. This all seems to be about housing for the financial class. A very large number of our taxpayers are just beginning to arrive with it.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was a professional.
They request more time to be part of this process. Please, City Council members, this has been an enormously painful process for you and the city, driven by a very small number of people. On behalf of the entire population, please consider delaying and notify all property owners by mail of what all this means for us. To finalize, please, Matt, please, council members, consider a referendum to let the whole town approve this enormously complicated legislation about our future before this takes us down an irreversible path. I thank Matt and our honorable city council members for attention and service. Thank you all.